Today, we're diving into a task that many businesses and online services face: syncing Stripe events to a postgreSQL database, ensuring that every transaction is accurately logged and easily accessible for analysis. And guess what? We're doing it low-code style using BuildShip. BuildShip is a low-code tool that enables you to build any backend logic visually while going above and beyond by tapping into the endless power of AI. We'll also be using Railway for easily creating a Postgres database that we can integrate with our BuildShip backend. Imagine you have a Stripe payment link for selling an online product or service, and you'd like to keep track of every Stripe checkout event in your own database for further analysis. Here we have a Stripe payment link, and after checking out successfully, we can see that our Postgres database has been populated with all the relevant Stripe data, such as the event type and the full event data object. Let's create a brand new workflow. Let's add a trigger, and we'll select the Stripe Webhooks trigger. A trigger is the entry point of our workflow, and it's responsible for kickstarting the execution of our workflow. Here we're using the Stripe Webhooks trigger, which provides a fully automated setup for listening to real-time updates from various Stripe events via webhooks. Let's configure our trigger. The first thing we need to do is select our Stripe secret. If you don't already have a Stripe secret created, then you can quickly create one by selecting Add Secret. We can optionally specify the Stripe events we want to listen for. For now, we can just leave this empty, in which case our workflow will be listening for all Stripe events. Of course, if you want to only listen for specific Stripe events, then you can add them here as an array value. And be sure to check out the Stripe event guides documentation for all the possible Stripe events that you can use. With our trigger setup, we now want to add a node for saving the event data in a Postgres database. But wait, we don't have a Postgres database yet, so let's create a brand new one. For this, we'll be using Railway, which is the fastest and easiest way to create a Postgres server and database. Log into your Railway account or create a new one, and then select New Project. From here, select Provision postgreSQL, and just wait a while for your Postgres server to be created. And after it's fully created, select it and go to the Data tab. Select Create Table, and here we can start defining the schema of our table. Let's name our table Stripe Events, and we'll add 2 new columns. The first column, type, will be for storing the event type, which will be of type text. The next column, event data, will be for storing the entire event object. The type will be JSON. Now click Create, and that's it. We now have a securely accessible Postgres database that we can use in our workflow. Back in BuildShip, let's add a new node. Under the Postgres integration, select the Insert Data into Postgres DB node. We'll use this node to connect to our Postgres database and to populate our Stripe events table. Let's configure our node. First, we'll enter the connection details for the host, port, database, user, and password input fields. You can retrieve all of these values from Railway by going to the Variables tab. The table name is Stripe Events. And now we can specify the data we want to insert. This node allows us to insert multiple rows at once by passing them as an array. For now, we only want to insert one row with 2 values. The first value will be for the event type. We'll get this value from our Stripe Events webhook, and the field we want to extract is the type field. The next field will be for the event data. As before, we'll get this value from our Stripe Events webhook, and this time we want to get the event data object field. Our workflow is almost complete. We just need to add a return node to indicate a successful execution of our workflow. We'll set the status code to OK, and that's it. We can finally ship and deploy our workflow. And after a few seconds, we can see that the deployment was successful. Now, if we head over to the webhook section in the Stripe dashboard, we'll see our newly added workflow endpoint here. This process of registering our workflow endpoint in Stripe was made fully automated by our Stripe Webhooks trigger. We'll use the same payment link we used at the beginning of the video, and next we'll fill out all the required fields, then we'll click Pay. Now let's go back to the Railway dashboard and we'll select the Data tab and select the Stripe Events table. And as we can see, all the Stripe event data is now being synced to our table. And that's all it takes. With just a few clicks in BuildShip, we've seamlessly synchronized Stripe events to a postgreSQL database without diving into any complex coding. When it comes to turning your ideas into reality, there's no better choice than BuildShip. With its low-code toolings and integrations, you can bring your ideas to life without any limitations. Give BuildShip a try today, and we'll see you in the next one.